Today I want to share with you a top Facebook ad that is generating thousands of real estate leads for real estate agents all across the country. Now, regardless of how you feel about Facebook ads, I want you to park those thoughts aside for the next couple of minutes because I want you to be dialed in. I really want you to learn how to generate real estate leads using the special ad category in this very targeted step-by-step tutorial. Hey, Ataime, if we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. All right, so let's begin. I want to get you in and out of here in a reasonable amount of time. So we are here in the Ads Manager where all of your advertising should be going down. If you are running ads and you don't see this, then chances are that you are boosting. I'm going to have to invite you to stop doing that because that's a great way to lose your money, waste money. It's just not going to be as effective as what you're going to see today. All right, so let's just go for it. Let's go to create. All right, so right off the bat, we are met with choosing the campaign objective. So here on the left-hand side, you can see awareness, which basically means reaching out as far and wide as possible with the net and not necessarily taking much into account after that. Consideration, you can see a lot of the objectives that you have here on Facebook are consideration, meaning you expect a certain action from your audience. So traffic, that is the most versatile campaign that you can run. And it's really the most common, but the one that we're going to run today is the lead generation campaign. Now, the third column, I'll just touch on that very briefly, but the conversion is taking what you've done over here and then optimizing it and going exponentially further. So before we go forward, traffic is, again, the most flexible one, the one that is the most common. But if you want to upgrade, let's just say, if you want to go to that next level, then conversions is where you want to be, as opposed to traffic. So I don't want to confuse that because we're actually not going to go down that route today. So we're going to go to lead generation. I'm going to move myself for a quick second. We're going to go to continue. All right, where can I put myself? I'm going to put myself over here and let's just see if I don't get in the way. All right, when it comes to the campaign name, what I like to do is I like to label it whatever campaign objective I'm going to go with, and then I like to label the ad set later after I get out of the campaign phase. I'm still selecting the campaign. This is a new interface. So if you've run ads, let's just say if you've been running ads and haven't run any of them in the past 2 months or so, this interface has changed. So notice that we selected our campaign objective, but we're still here at the campaign objective. We're going to have the opportunity to select it one more time. So what I like to do is name the campaign, so the objective first, and then the type of campaign that we're going to run over here. So it's going to be I'm just going to call it the ad because I don't remember exactly which ad we're actually going to go. I'm going to give you the exact ad copy, but that's something that I'll decide once we get to the end. All right, so that'll be a pleasant surprise. So whatever type of ad that you're going to run, that's where you would label it right here. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you can remember what type of campaign that you ran, fantastic, you're good to go. Special ad categories. You're required to declare if your ads are related to credit, employment, and housing, and they just added social issues, elections, and all that fun stuff. So if you have been selected or have applied for to work for the Democrat Party, the Independent Party, what did I say? The Democrat, the Republican, the Independent Party, any other party that you can think of, then know that you do have to select that you're running a political ad. So have fun with that. But for our purposes, we do need to say that it is a housing ad. So as a reminder, credit, employment, and housing ads, and now political ads, you do have to call that out. And as a real estate agent, you may be thinking, well, what if I just advertise myself as an agent? That still counts. If it's simply a brand awareness campaign like, hey, I'm a real estate agent, well, it's still a housing ad. You're still soliciting business for your real estate business. I know that can get a little bit murky sometimes, especially early on, but just know that even if you're just saying, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and not necessarily going above and beyond that, it's still a housing ad. All right, so ads for real estate listings, homeowners insurance, mortgage loans, or other related opportunities. That other related opportunities just gets larger and larger, so just be aware of that. But the ad that you're going to see right now is working phenomenal, so you will need to try to bypass that anyway. All right, so we're going to leave it in the lead generation. A/B split testing, not going to do that. Campaign budget optimization. If I toggle that switch on, it's going to tell me or ask me, hey, what's your budget going to be for this campaign? I'm not going to do that, but just know that whenever you toggle that on, you are going to be asked, what is the campaign total that you want to spend for this campaign? So that means that you're setting the budget at the campaign level, and then the ad sets, regardless however many you make, let's just say you make 10 ad sets trying to split test, the budget that you set up on the front end, that's going to be allocated by Facebook, not something that you do, but it's going to be allocated by Facebook, and it's going to try to optimize for you. So if you want that, go for it, but I actually don't prefer to do it that way. I actually prefer to set the actual ad spend at the ad set level and split test myself a bit more manually. All right, so we are good to go. Let me copy this for a second, even though there's not much to copy. We're gonna go to next. Hey, one quick second, I'll let you get right back to the video, but I have a huge favor to ask. I want you to get in your car and go to your nearest AT&T store or Verizon store, Sprint, T-Mobile, wherever you have your phone plan. I want you to go to that store and I want you to get a second line. I want you to select an Android or an iPhone, whatever phone you want. And once you have the representative activate your second phone line, I want you to download the YouTube app. And once you have that YouTube app downloaded, I want you to find this very video and smash that like button. And after that, as you're getting rung up, I want you to say to the representative, I changed my mind, and then just walk out. And now notice that we're at the ad set. So let me just replace that with the ad. Well, not the ad, the name. All right, and then here, let's just say we're going to be advertising Oklahoma City, 15-mile, and it's going to be no interest. Let's just go with that. So we're actually not going to select an interest for this particular ad campaign, and you'll see what that looks like in a little bit. This is my naming convention. You don't have to go down this route, but just know that it is it's something that has been very effective for me in all of the accounts that I manage. I can easily read the reports, but again, the goal is not for you to use the exact same template that I use, but it's just a suggestion. All right. And then you're going to select the page that you want to advertise from. If you have never run a lead generation type of a campaign, then it's going to ask you to accept the terms. So you can view the terms right here. It's not all that large. So as you can see, it's about 8 paragraphs. And you can read that at your leisure, but make sure that you do read them at some point, because there are some stipulations in there. There are some things that will get your ad account shut down or your business account shut down if you're not careful. So go ahead and read them at least once. It would be a good learning opportunity for you. Anyway, so you would just accept it. I've already accepted it, so it's not asking me to accept them again. All right, dynamic creative, we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about a catalog. So if you have different products, different services, you can put them right there and then select via the catalog. But we're not going to worry about that. And notice that we have the budget set here. So this is where we actually select the budget. How we selected the campaign budget optimization, we've already made that decision. But here we're at the ad set and we get to decide. So we're going to leave that at 20 bucks. I don't put an end date. You're welcome to, but I personally do not. Do that because it forces me to come back here and check on my ads every single time. Now, if you have a set it and forget it type of a mentality, which I don't suggest that you do that here in advertising, because when you set it and do forget it, then you're in trouble. So you want to come back in here and test what's working, what's not working. So it's really a good habit to come in here at least once every day to see what's going on with your money, because at the end of the day, it's your money. All right, so we're going to continue going. And this is where you call back the audiences. So let's break it down. What really happens with the special ad category? Remember, credit, employment, and housing, and now political ads. What happens when I select that button? When we selected that budget over here in the special ad category, a few things happened. We are no longer able to use lookalike audiences in the traditional form. So lookalike audiences are something that you still have available, but only if you're not running special ads. So in the housing, you don't have the lookalike audiences in this traditional form, which would look back at the custom audience that you selected and give you people that would look very closely to that custom audience. So what does that look like in practice? Let's just say you have your database, your email database, you upload it onto Facebook and create a custom audience. In the past, you were able to select a lookalike audience that would look at this custom audience right here and then go out into Facebook and find you more people like that. So with the special ad category, you're no longer able to select that lookalike audience. However, you are able to select a special ad audience. So basically, it's going to look very similar to the lookalike audience. However, it's going to be a little bit more watered down. It's not going to have all of the criteria that the lookalike audience had because the special ad category was introduced because of some privacy issues and fair housing issues that Facebook experienced. So it had to take off some of its identifying factors when us as real estate agents or mortgage professionals or whatever profession you're doing in the housing space, when we were advertising, we were able to select via age. You're no longer able to do that, and you'll see that in a couple of seconds. You're no longer able to select based off of gender. So you are not, I'll just scroll down. Gender, you're not able to select based off of that. It's going to include all of them. You're no longer able to select based off of demographics. So the demographics, based off of who they are, if they're parents, or anything like that, if they have kids of certain ages or anything, employment, anything that has to do with demographics, you're no longer able to select from that. You are able to select based off of interest, which we'll get to in a second. And then something else that ended up changing was, let me flip this over real quick. So you have the option when you're selecting where you want to advertise. I think I said Oklahoma City, right? So people living or recently in this location, people living in this location, people recently in this location, and people traveling in this location. For the best results, you're going to go with people living in this location. And then we're going to go with Oklahoma City. Another subtle change, but a change nonetheless, is that the minimum range that you can go, or the medium radius that you can select when you're advertising in the housing category is 15 miles. 15 miles is the minimum that you can go. If you're not advertising in the special ad category, then you can go down to as little as 1 mile, or basically a block if you're geofencing, which I have another video in this channel that shows you how to do that. But for our purposes, know that 15-mile radius is your minimum that you can go. So as you can see here, it covers all of Oklahoma City. So you're good to go in that respect. Your potential reach is over here. The potential reach, it's a good indicator of the size of your audience. Now, what's not a good indicator is right here, the estimated daily results. You can guarantee that these are going to be wrong. These are not going to be accurate. You're going to see that whenever we make some changes here and there, this is going to potentially go down to 0. It's going to tell us, hey, you have a chance of getting 0 leads. And know that that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with the ad copy, and certainly not with what we're doing. But going back to it, what's up with that naming convention? I put Oklahoma City, I put 15 miles, and I put no interest. What's this no interest that I put? No interest is right down here, not right there, right down here where you see ad demographics, interest, or behaviors. Well, since you're in the special ad category, demographics, you're not going to find them. Behaviors, you're not going to find them. What you're going to find is interest. So if I were to say, I want to target people that have an interest in Zillow, I could do that if I could spell it right. And then I would be given suggestions. So you see homes.com, househunting.com. So these are all interest, and how you know that their interest is on the right hand side. You see all of those that are interest. So this is starting to stack all the interest of people that like homes.com, or people that like house hunting, or people that like Zillow. So you see it starts to add up. It starts to become a larger and larger audience. Now, if you want to get a more refined audience, here's what you do. Because remember, these are OR functions. Now we're going to go with an AND function. So if you're any Excel aficionados, let me know in the comment section down below. But Excel aficionados, you're going to like this. Because if you want to narrow down the audience, you're going to go with an AND function. And that's going to be somebody that likes Zillow and somebody that likes Trulia or has an interest in Trulia. So you see down here, it's gone down to 50,000 people, and then goes back to that whole leads going to 0 business, which is not true. So you are refining the audience. So not only are you saying to Facebook, give me everybody that likes Zillow, and give me everybody that, in addition to Zillow, likes Trulia. So you're going to have a more refined audience. So it's going to be somebody that is a little bit more intentional with their real estate transaction or their potential real estate transaction. I'm going to X out of that because I said at the beginning, we're not going to do any interest. So everything that you're seeing is going to be going live. This is what it's going to look like whenever we go to market or whenever we run the ad. Okay, and now we get to the famous placements. Placements is one of the I guess most debated items here on Facebook ads. So where do you want your ad to show? If you leave automatic placements on, here's where everywhere your ad is going to show. I'm going to go to manual placements to show you. If you're running a lead generation campaign, you're going to notice that it shows up in the news feed, the Instagram feed, marketplace. It skips down a bit because we're talking about a lead form, which will make sense in a couple of minutes. Instagram Explorer, stories, and all that fun stuff, right? So if we would have left it automatic placements, that's where it would go. But what I suggest that you do is go ahead and take everything else out and only leave this right here, only leave the Facebook newsfeed. There's several reasons for that. One, if you're going to be using multiple placements, I encourage you to run those individually. So not add them in one ad set. So you would just copy this ad set and then run it in another ad set. So that's one. And the second thing is you want to format your images to the placement that you're going to be advertising in. So stories are more horizontal, vertically. This is horizontal, right? So more vertically. And then the feeds, those are a bit more horizontal. So just know your dimensions, and they you want to be sure that you adjust those. So those are two reasons why I suggest that you go with that. But for now, take my word and go with newsfeed, and you're going to be off and running. Make sure that you have all mobile devices on, because a lot of your audience is going to be looking at it from your phone. From their phone, not your phone. Cost control, don't worry about that for now. When you get charged, that says impression, just believe me. And then we're going to go back up here. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to next. And then goes back to the name. Again, I name it the exact same thing as the ad set. And the reason that I use the same name is because I want to be able to look at my reports and see what I'm targeting. I want to see the exact ad that I'm running. Well, I want to see the ad set, and then the type of campaign all in one screen. It doesn't matter where I'm at. All right. Okay, so we're going to go with the Facebook page. That's the page that we're advertising from. Or if you have another page, you can certainly link it up to your business manager account and start advertising. Advertise on Instagram. You can also do that. We actually didn't highlight the Instagram placement, so we're not going to add our Instagram account nor the Instagram placement, but know that you don't need an Instagram account in order to advertise on Instagram. That's also super pretty cool. But if you're going to do it, I do suggest that you go ahead and link up your Instagram account. Just know that you don't have to. All right. Okay, then when it comes to the format, look at the differences that you see on the right hand side. So there's that duck. I don't know where that came from, but you have a carousel ad, which is going to have individual cards. It starts off with 3, and you can increase them. So these are just cards, and you can see what they look like right here. But we're going to go with the single image. And if you have a video, I do suggest that you go ahead and embed that video. Let's just say if it's of a listing that just came online, or of a listing that you yourself did a private tour on, or a listing of a very incredible property, whatever the case may be, video does help out a lot. But for our purposes today, we're actually just going to go with one image. And trust me, this is all you need. You don't have to go and do a video if you don't want to. But let's just find a house real quick, just so we can get moving. That is a great house right there. We're going to continue. It's going to show up here. In order to run an ad, you do need two things. You need text, you need ad copy, and then you also need an image. So that is something that we're crafting over here on the right hand side. And now for the very, very important part, which is the ad copy, let me get it real quick. And here's the ad copy. The price drop ad is absolutely crushing it. So let's talk through this. So you have the price drop on, let's just say, Oklahoma City for sale, or in Oklahoma City for sale, depending on how, depending if you're going to go into the neighborhood, if you're going to go into city, if you're going to go into a region. So for our purposes, it works better if you go with a place that is known. So if there's a suburb that you're selling this house in and nobody has any clue where that suburb is or where that little small town is, then make it a little bit different. Make it 10 minutes away from downtown Fort Worth, 10 minutes away from downtown Oklahoma City, 30 minutes away from downtown Manhattan. Whatever the case may be, you can adjust it a little bit there. But for now, price drop on Oklahoma City home for sale, and then unique features to the property. Here, you want to highlight something unique to the property. You want to give a reason, a motivating reason why somebody should care about this price drop. And what will help out is if you have a large price drop, let's just say it was a 5% price drop or a $30,000 price drop, go ahead and include it here. But more often than not, you're not going to have such a substantial price drop because you priced the property appropriately. So that's not going to be an issue. So you're going to highlight a unique feature to the property. But if the price drop is significant, then I do encourage you to go ahead and drop it there because it will call somebody's attention. All right, and then click learn more for the lead magnet. The lead magnet is up to you, depending on what you want to provide. For this type of ad, what works better is providing additional pictures, providing price, providing address, and providing a virtual walkthrough. At this point, a lot of us are doing virtual walkthroughs, so that should not be a big deal. That is your lead magnet. So you're asking them to click learn more, which we'll set up in a couple of seconds, for that additional information. And then when it comes to the headline, price drop. Let's just go with huge price drop. Will not last. So you see what we just created right here? That's what's happening. Display link, don't worry about that. Sign up, we're going to go to learn more. So remember, we called that out up here. And then we're going to scroll down. Now we're going to create a lead form. So the lead form is, I'll click on it so you see it. A lead form is basically your landing page. The benefit of using a lead generation campaign, which is a type of campaign that we're running, is that you keep people on Facebook. You're not sending them over to your website. You're not sending them over to your IDX. You're not sending them anywhere else. You're keeping the people here. This is where their comfort is. This is where they're going to be. That's a huge benefit. So they're staying here. The second benefit is their information will be pre-populated. So depending on what you're asking for, it's going to be pre-populated. So if you're asking for the name, the email, and the phone number, that's going to populate on this on their account automatically. As soon as they press learn more, all they have to do is confirm, and then they're yours. They're your lead. So that's how beautiful it is. All right, settings. This is a very important feature right here. Sharing. Go to open. Your ad can be shared, and anyone can submit this form. I cannot overstress the importance of this. Open up your settings, open up your form, because that allows people to tag somebody in and also allows people to share your ad in their page. And that means free promotion. That means anybody that submits their form that was not the original recipient, so not the person that shared that ad, anybody else that submits their information, that's free. It doesn't cost you anything. That is absolutely free to you. So be aware of that. That's super cool. So, and it doesn't happen unless you hit open. It's just that simple. Okay? We're going to go to content. Then you're going to name this form. Name this form. And then we're going to say price drop. And then you're going to go with form type, higher, more volume or higher intent. Use a form that's quick to fill out or higher intent. Add a review step that gives people a chance to confirm their info. I go with more volume. I would much rather get more volume and then have my appointment setters call until there's something that happens. I don't want to get less amount of leads. All right, intro. The image from your ad, or upload an image. You want to use the same one. You don't ever want to use a different one. There's that familiarity. Don't give people a reason to click out of your ad. They were already convinced enough to click on it, and now you just want to be consistent, okay? Headline, huge price drop. House will not last. All right, so keeping it very simple. Again, I'm reiterating what I said on the front end. I'm not going to introduce something completely crazy on the back end because I already got them to click over. I just want to be as consistent as I was from the moment that they clicked over. I don't want to introduce a new variable that's going to say, on a second thought, yeah, I don't want it. It turns out that it's in a different city that I didn't know when I clicked on the ad. Does that make sense? So don't throw them curveballs. They don't do well with curveballs. All right, and then we get to the point where we ask the questions. What do we want in our form? You see it on the right-hand side. Where may I send you additional information? Here we go. I'll move myself. That's probably the worst spot right there. Should be seeing me there. I don't like asking for the full name. I like asking for the first name. It's a little bit more impersonal, less intimidating, so they can actually send me their information without feeling like, oh man, they have all of my details, even though I have their email and their phone number. But you'd be surprised how big of a difference that makes. And then here you're just gonna go with your privacy. I'll just put privacy policy, if I could spell it. Now, of course, you would put your own privacy policy on there, and I do stress that you use a real privacy policy and actually have a privacy policy, because I can tell you, if you don't have that, there's a good chance that your ad account or your business manager will get suspended. Trust me. Trust me on that. So this goes back to earlier on. I don't know if you remember when we accepted the lead form terms, that's what we attested to. So just be aware of that. And then here I would just say privacy policy. All right. Completion. Thanks, you're all set. And what we promised them has to end up in their email inbox. You're not going to give the goods away here, because if they give you a wrong email or wrong phone number, then they did not put up their end of the bargain, the end of the deal. Okay, so send whatever you promised them, whether that's a PDF, whether that's a hyperlink, a URL, whether that's whatever it is, you're going to send it to them via email or via text, whatever information you collected. You can send it to those both, but you're not going to give them the goods right here, because if they give you the wrong information, then you're not going to get my stuff. It's just that simple. Check your email. This beautiful home awaits. What's up? All right, and then call business. You're gonna call now. Bam. Then you're gonna put your phone number. So we're not gonna go through that part now. Okay, so it's at that point that you are going to save the draft, and then you're gonna publish it. So make sure that you save and then publish. I'm not going to do either, because this is not going to go live, but just know that that is the entire process that you need to go through. So I'm going to X out of this. I'll put OK. And then make sure that your pixel is up and running. So there's my test pixel that is ready to go. Once you have that going, all you have to do is press publish, and you're off and running. It really is that simple. It's gonna get much faster. Right now we went through the entire gamut, but just know that it goes so much faster once you do this again and again and again. At the end of the day, you're gonna be able to set everything up very, very quickly. Now, let's talk about what happens after they submit their information. After they submit their information, you can do one of two things. You can either come back here and check on your leads every other hour or every hour and do it manually, or you can do it in an automated way. So many of you have expensive CRMs like KV Core, Conversion, I think is the same one, but you have some CRMs that directly integrate with Facebook ads. So make sure that you make that connection so the leads can automatically come into your CRM, and then your CRM, if it has an email marketing platform or a text marketing capabilities, it automatically sends them what you promised them. So that's a way to automate your business. Or if you don't have a fancy CRM that has the ability to do that, then you can connect it to an email autoresponder, which will send off what you promised them. Again, it can be a URL, it can be a PDF, whatever the case may be. That works just fine. Or if you just want to do even a little bit more, let's just say it's going to be automated, but it's going to be a little bit more manual. what you can do is set up a Zapier. So Zapier.com. Zapier will connect your Facebook ad account to your Gmail. So it looks like your Gmail is the one that's sending out what you promised them, whether that's a PDF, whether that's a URL. I have tutorials on how to do that as well, so I'll be sure to link them here because it's appropriate. But again, you have the option. Do you want to do it manually or do you want to do it automated? And 100% of the time, I suggest that you go with automated. Well, now that we know how to generate real estate leads using the special ad category, it's time to level up. So I'll leave a video right here that's going to help you do that. Also, if you found value today, please be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss another video. And of course, make it your best day yet.